and welcome to the Decades Challenge. Guess what, folks? The war is over. Yay, huzzah. So our men are just going to have a good time right now, play some horseshoes, deal with that floating plate. Don't know what's going on there. So the men who survived World War I are Xavier Johnson, Thomas Johnson, no relation, John Winslow, and Silas Swenson. I'm going to get rid of that plate. So I do want them to fire up the grill, not the grill, fire up the fire, I guess. And here are Thomas and Silas talking about the war, happy that it's over, swapping stories, that sort of thing. But I want to also get him to light this fire so that we can have some food. Or maybe Silas can light the fire. It's a good story. They've got it pretty good. So Silas is never gonna light this fire. Let me check on the horseshoe guys. Alright, John Winslow is sad. Oh, his feelings are hurt? Okay, well, alright. Nope, not gonna invite Gladys over. Whoa! Okay, Silas. Alright, good. Silas, no permanent damage there. He's going to roast some hot dogs so everybody can... Oh, Thomas is going to check on the money tree. And I'm curious about the money tree. I know it's not going to grow. We have a money tree. We have a little fledgling money tree. Oh, Thomas is such a better gardener than I am. Let's get him to... Can he water it? He cannot water it, but he can talk to it, which he's already talking. He's already talking. So, look at our little money tree. Okay, so I really didn't think that any of these soldiers were going to be able to benefit from the money tree, but it's just nice to see it there. I want Thomas to also roast some hot dogs, and then I want Silas and Thomas to maybe take some hot dogs over to that house that they like to go to. It's getting dark, and Thomas... Aw, he's thinking about Gladys. Actually, there's a good reason he's thinking about Gladys, because he's got a letter from Gladys in his pocket, which he's going to read later. Xavier is embarrassed. I take that to mean he's losing. Yeah, he's losing at this game between him and John Winslow, so he's embarrassed about it. I am okay with that. Uh-oh. This fire's gonna go out. I hope the hot dogs get done before the fire goes out. Alright. We'll get back to this later. I do want them to travel. Here we are at the Diogenes household. Claire Diogenes lives here. Thomas has not met her sister yet, but he will meet her soon. Oh, here she is. Okay, well, where's Claire? So he actually did meet her in town, and she dresses like this because she wants people to think that she's a nun so that it's less likely that she's bothered. This is a very precarious time for a young woman. All right, so Thomas has discovered this property because of the bees. Thomas was raised with bees, so when he saw this bee box, he decided to take care of it, really. So he's now able to collect honey and bond with the bees. And of course he's going to give Claire and her sister the honey so that they can eat that. Celine, that's her name. He's going to give Claire and Celine the honey. He also has some fruit for them. And Thomas being a big brother, just have kind of adopted Claire and Celine to make sure that they have fruits and vegetables and things that they can eat. So I'm going to pull the honey out of his inventory and just load them up with honey. He's also going to load up the refrigerator. He has basil. I wonder why I can't get into that fridge. He's got snapdragon. Oh, basil. Good. He's not going to give her the snapdragon. She needs stuff she can eat. He will give her the fire leaf because Thomas knows the healing power of fire leaf. And he wants to make sure that they have something. It's not a lot, but it helps. Every bit helps. Parsley. I think these are noxious. Yeah, he's not going to give them noxious elderberry because those are poisonous. But he has got some pears that he discovered along his way. He's going to make sure that they have plenty of pears, which are good for a nice pear clafouti and also just a random pear snack. And he's got snow peas. I think those are snow peas, snap peas, something. Okay, and then he's got a garden shoot, which he will save. But look at that. They've got lots of food right now, which is very helpful to them. Thomas, of course, is a fledgling botanist, and he also knows a lot about gardens because he grew up on one. So he's foraged these things, and he is able to share them. Where's Thomas? Oh, he's still upset about the bee sting, but there's fire leaf, so he could just eat the fire leaf. For him, the fire leaf is an old family cure, so, he can eat that and it will help him. Why can't I open this refrigerator? Could it be because it's not really my house? Maybe. Okay, I'm going to have to rely on Celine to take care of the groceries, but there we go. And, look at Thomas. He's so cute. He's smiling. Okay, now honestly, you can talk to Silas at any time. Let's talk to Celine. Ah, there's a love interest there. All right, let's pursue that. Dude, why are you talking about a urinal? Uh-oh. He said something awkward. Let's get him to maybe apologize for that. Make some funny faces. Where are you going there, Celine? I do want Celine to paint him, so I want them to become close enough friends that that's a good offer that she can make him. Uh-oh. How are we on the romance meter? All right. Romance is a possibility. as you can see in the background, Celine is taking pictures of Thomas, and this one she's particularly happy with. I think she's gone off to bed, but they are getting really close. And of course, Thomas is no longer with Petra. Thomas did get a letter from Gladys that says that Petra has gotten married, which is devastating for him. But it's time to move on. So he's going to move on with Celine. And they have a pretty good relationship going. There's some potential here. Thomas, I think, is going to age up. I don't think it's his birthday. But I think his birthday will be tomorrow. So tomorrow marks the beginning of the 1920s. Yay, us. But even though the war is over, getting troops back to the United States is not an overnight thing. Even today, it's not an overnight thing. You can't just go, okay, the war's over, everybody go home. So in World War I, soldiers went home in waves. They went home as ships became available. They went home as the logistics were possible. And I will give you a million simoleons if you can figure out which troops were the last to go home. And if you guessed the Harlem Hellfighters, you are absolutely right. Oh, they're about to kiss. I do want to witness this. Aw, how cute. Can I kiss again? All right, Celine, we like you, but don't go getting all weird. Oh, we're about to make out in the closet. So, the Harlem Hellfighters were among the last of the troops to go home because many of the white troops, well, what happened was the government was trying to figure out how to get soldiers home and what priority systems should be used. So some of them said those who were there the longest deserved to go home first. Those who were the most battle worn, etc., etc. They tried to implement some of those, but it was a bit of a disaster. And ultimately, they just, oh, somebody's sneaking out of the closet. Okay, what's this girl doing while her sister's woohooing upstairs? Among the last to go home were the colored troops. So they didn't get to see their families until much later. But the good thing is that they got to enjoy Europe with no real purpose. You know, they had rebuilding chores and they had deactivating things and all of that, but they weren't on the front lines anymore because the front lines didn't exist. So for the most part, they got to enjoy Europe, and part of enjoying Europe was meeting young girls who, you know, whose prospects for men were a lot slimmer than they had been 5 years ago. And, you know, one thing led to another, and yeah. So Thomas has just found out that his father's died. Lots of things going on here. So he is very sad, unfortunately. And he's going to sleep. Is it Silas? So this is the last bit of war that we'll see. The men are going to be home in the next episode, and Thomas won't be home. He will be in San Myshuno because all the troops will go to San Myshuno, then they'll figure out what to do after that. But I do have a question for you while we're watching Silas play horseshoes. My question is, generally, if I do an extra episode, I call it a bonus episode. Does it confuse you when that episode doesn't have an episode number? Do you prefer that a bonus episode is not given a number, or that it is given a number even though it's not going to move the story forward? My plan is to do a bonus episode about all of the decades styles that you can find without CC. As you know, I'm playing this with no mods, no CC, no external content. I have most packs, but I don't have all packs. So I want to show to myself that this Decades Challenge can be done with just some of the packs, not all of the packs. So I want to do that. I also want to do, in the next week or so, I want to do a kind of Meet the Johnsons episode. Oh, Silas. Oh, Silas is awake again. I want to do a Meet the Johnsons episode, which is really more like a goodbye to the Johnsons episode, since it's very unlikely that we will return to the family farm anytime soon. So I want to introduce you all to the other children and kind of close out that chapter of this story so that we can move into the air. As you know, Petra is the mother of our next generation. That child hasn't been born yet, but by the time Thomas gets back to home, I'm sure that child will be born, and we'll have to sort out the story. Will the child ever know who his or her father is? Will Rohan accept the child? What will Petra do with this child who may or may not look like her husband? We'll see. One of the stories I'd like to explore is what the skin tone of the child will be, because I think that will drive some of the story. So we'll see how that goes. And I also want to do a Q&A episode where I'm going to read and answer some of the questions that I've gotten in the previous 30 plus episodes. But I encourage you, if you have a burning question about the Decades Challenge or about this particular challenge or something that happened in an episode that you just don't understand and you want some clarification on, please put that in the chat for this episode into this chat. Don't put it in comments for another video, because I may or may not get those, but I will be looking at this for those kinds of things. So if you have a burning question, ask it in the questions here, and I will get back to you on air. And on that note, this is Windenberg during the war, and I don't think we'll see it again. I'm happy to say that Xavier, Thomas, John, and Silas have survived the war, and they will all be headed home very soon. That guy needs a shower. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed World War I as much as a person can enjoy a war. I hope that you appreciate the way that I carried out the war. I know that fighting is kind of a silly way to express something, a very serious topic, but I've done the best I can with what The Sims has given me to play with. So I hope you appreciate and enjoy that. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know as well, because there's another war coming up in 30 years. So I don't know if I will deal with it with this intensity, or if I will play the home front. I haven't really decided yet. I've got 30 years to figure it out. So let me know what you think. Lots of things that we could be talking about in the comments. So I encourage you to send your thoughts. And thank you so much for watching. And goodbye. The next time I see you will be in San Myshuno. Take care.